America.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, just moments away from the first pitch.
And today's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting, provided by WRTO La Tremenda, Chicago's Spanish language sports leader. Omar Ramos and Hector Fabregas on the call.
And we encourage Cub fans to check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. It's brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, nationwide agent serving the area for 33 years. Contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. And on the blog today, we have our Stats Sunday feature. And a special thanks to Don Zminda, Nolan McNair, Megan Sheehan, and all the wonderful folks at Stats for putting these charts together. Run expectancy. So outs and base runners, we go back to 2010. The amount of runs you should score in an inning, starting from whatever situation. And we'll also have the chances that you'll score at all based on those situations. So here you go, Bob. As you start an inning, you average a half a run with nobody on, nobody out. And when you get the bases loaded, nobody out, of course, you should score a lot. And it's fun to look at. I mean, runner at first, no outs. You score 0.84 runs. Runner at second, 1 out, 0.662. So that gets into the debate about giving up an out to move up a base.
Absolutely. And with a runner on first base, or rather with the bases loaded as opposed to runners in second and third only, you see how the percentages are different with 1 out, and that's because of keeping the double play in order. We talk about it all the time. Throw to the right base, keep the double play in order.
So we'll have a little fun with that this afternoon. And it certainly will inform the armchair managers out there about what to do in certain situations. The Dodger manager, Don Mattingly, writing out this Dodger lineup minus Matt Kemp, late scratch due to hamstring tightness. D. Gordon, Mark Ellis, Andre Ethier at the top. Juan Rivera, Jerry Hairston, and James Loney in the middle. A.J. Ellis, Tony Gwynn Jr. in for Kemp, and Aaron Harang at the bottom.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Travis Wood, brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. It'll be Soriano, Campana, and DeJesus left to right across the outfield today. Joe Mather getting the start at third base. Starlin Castro and Darwin Barney will make up the double play combination. Brian O'Hare over at first base with Wellington Castillo getting a rare start behind the plate today. For a guy he's very familiar with, he's been catching him down at AAA Iowa, Travis Wood. In his 5 starts down there, he's had a couple of good outings, a couple of not so good outings. The good thing is his command is much better. He's throwing strikes, hopefully good quality strikes today against this Dodger lineup.
So rain delay that lasted over 2.5 hours, finally over and set for baseball. And one of 4 active umpires to have worked multiple no-hitters, Jeff Kellogg, is behind the plate with Cooper, Foster, and Timmons around the bases. Anibal Sanchez, 2006. Ubaldo Jimenez, 2010. They're no-nos. Jeff Kellogg was there. Here we go. Wood against Gordon, and a first pitch strike. 91 on the fastball, and we are underway. Rain delay was 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Now for Travis Wood today, you'll see him work his fastball both directions. He'll throw 2 seamers with a little bit of tailing action. He'll cut the fastball into the right-handed hitters. He likes to throw his straight change up, and will mix in an occasional curveball and slider.
Going to be a tough play for Castro. Gets rid of it quickly, and LaHare digs out the short hop throw to get D. Gordon. That's a really good play against one of the fastest guys in the league.
And that's just knowing your opposition for Starlin Castro. We know he likes to take a little extra time and wind up, but he realized he had no extra time with D. Gordon running. Short hop off the grass. Nice pick by Brian LaHare at the other end. That is a big out in the ball game. Anytime you can keep D. Gordon off the bases.
Now the second baseman, Mark Ellis, who takes a fastball low. Travis Wood is in for Matt Garza, is feeling a lot better, but unable to go today. He'll have his start skipped altogether. Wood, 25 years old, 5'11", 175 pounds, and the Cubs got him 2 days before Christmas from Cincinnati, along with outfielder Dave Sapelt, infielder Ronald Torreyes, in exchange for lefty Sean Marshall. .57 degrees and an east wind at 10 miles an hour. High humidity, as you would imagine, and a touch and go forecast. Three and one the count. Again, no Matt Kemp, at least to start the game in the Dodger lineup. That hamstring may have healed though by now. As Ellis takes ball 4.
Well, with Kemp sitting on a major league high consecutive game streak of 391, it wouldn't surprise me if Don Mattingly tried to get him into the game in some capacity just to keep the streak alive.
Yeah, he was scratched last year in a game in June with a similar injury and did pinch hit. So first base runner, and Wood will check on Ellis. Don Mattingly in his second season as the manager of the Dodgers, now under new ownership. You've heard the two big names a lot. Magic Johnson, the NBA Hall of Famer, who was a partner. Now the president and CEO Stan Kasten, longtime baseball executive, but we should also mention the chairman Mark Walter, who is based here in Chicago and was a Cub fan, and I stress the word was, as Andre Ethier pulls one foul. A huge Cub fan before buying the Dodgers.
Well, he's probably still a huge Cub fan every time except when they're playing the Dodgers.
Especially when they're playing the Giants. He's a Cub fan. And they will have their first home game under the Guggenheim Baseball Management Group tomorrow night. And Dodger fans who park in that huge lot right around the stadium will have an extra $5 in their pocket, because Magic announced parking's now $10, not $15, right after they bought the team. Ethier swings and misses. And Wood gets his first strikeout. So 2 outs in the inning.
Rather awkward swing for a guy who is a really good 2-strike hitter. Just a cut fastball right off of that outside corner. Ethier just tried to foul it off and stay alive, but came up empty.
Well, we will update our run expectancy matrix as we move along. Mentioned teams score just under a half a run per inning when the inning starts. Runner at first, 2 outs. It goes down to 0.216. And the Dodgers in this spot, according to the percentage chance of scoring, have about a 12% chance of scoring. Kick and the pitch is a called strike, and it's 1-1 on Juan Rivera. So there you go.
Runner on first base with 2 outs.
The keys to get to 2 outs. You see, not a lot of runs are scored once you get to this situation.
Which is why you hear managers talk all the time about the importance of those big 2-out base hits.
Fastball outside. Travis Wood made his major league debut 2 years ago with Cincinnati here at Wrigley Field and was very good. He went into the 8th inning. Well, I mentioned pretty low percentage here in terms of A runs scoring, with 2 outs and a runner at first. Just want to be in the bottom left-hand corner of that particular box. Not a big surprise, is it? Farther down and to the left you go. You add base runners, keep the outs at 0 or 1. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Swing and a miss. So at this point, there's a 0% chance the Dodgers will score in the first.
Pepsi Max? Really? Bet you're wondering how they got all that Pepsi taste into a 0-calorie cola.
Yeah.
You have one Pepsi Max for life!
I'm back, and you're my first guest.
It's rich.
You're gonna be famous, kid.
I'm named after my grandmother, but I never got to meet her. And I've always been curious about the first Ellen. I started with Ancestry.com, just to see. All it took was her name. And there she was in a 1930 census, and there was her address. I lived 4 blocks away from there. I walked by that building every day.
Get started with your family history at Ancestry.com, and we'll help you make your own discoveries.
Lately, we've been ordering a lot of cheesy bread from other places.
And what we found? Under-cheesing is rampant. You look at this.
A little bit of cheese with a whole lot of bread.
And we were one of the worst offenders. You know, what we said is, how do we make cheesy bread better? How do we make it special? Stuff it with cheese.
It's got as much cheese as our medium pizza.
I wanted people to jump rope with their cheese.
Or you could eat it, which I would recommend.
Order any of our new stuffed cheesy breads or medium 2-topping pizzas. Choose any 2 for just $5.99 each.
Now Dale Swaim's Pepsi lineup brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. De Jesus, Campana, Castro. You've got Laher, Soriano, and Mather in the middle. Mather in for the ailing Ian Stewart. Barney, Castillo, and Wood rounded out.
Quick look at the Dodgers defensively. It'll be Rivera, Gwynn, and Ethier across the outfield, left to right. Hairston, Gordon, Ellis, and Loney third to first across the infield. A.J. Ellis behind the plate today for 33-year-old veteran right-hander Aaron Harang. Won't be 33 much longer. He's got a birthday coming up in a few days.
He's pitched against the Cubs a lot. This is his 26th career start against the Cubs, and he's a big dude. 6'7", 260. San Diego native. Trying to even up his season record on his first year with the Dodgers.
A slight change in his approach in the early going this year, throwing a lot more power pitches, a lot more fastballs and sliders, not as many curveballs and changeups as he has thrown in the past.
Here's his 1-1 to De Jesus, and David pops it up. It'll be caught in foul territory by James Loney. Make sure you keep in touch. You can email us at lenandbob@tribune.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter as well. Bob, Albert Pujols finally hit a home run. A 2-run homer in the 5th inning today off Drew Hutchison of the Toronto Blue Jays. So he's got his first home run as an Angel. After 109 at bats, and got the silent treatment in the dugout. And he makes get hot.
Yeah, he might hit 30 in the next month. Who knows? Capable of putting up incredible numbers when he gets hot.
Campana takes a pitch outside. 2-0 the count. Lights are on. Wind not blowing very hard, but it's coming right off the lake. And high, 3-0. There's a strike. Tony got rid of the bat just as Jeff Kellogg went into a strike call.
Pretty good looking pitch. Not sure where Tony thought that one missed. And a good idea to hack at that next one.
Thurston still in at third, even with 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch. It foul into the upper deck. Behind the Cubs on deck circle.
A.J. Ellis behind the plate for the Dodgers knew that ball was popped up somewhere in foul territory, but he wasn't sure exactly where. Came out of his chute, started to take off his mask just in case he was going to have a play on it, but Tony fouled it straight back into the backstop.
Out in the left center field. Good at bat for Campana. Kept battling after getting it to 3-2, and he will be safe at second with a double. Forcing the defense to make a play. Tony Gwynn Jr.'s throw a little off the mark. And it's a 1-out double.
And that's the time to take a chance with 1 out in the inning. Try to get yourself into scoring position. In effect, this is like the leadoff man getting on and bunting him into scoring position. This is a play most runners would not even consider trying to stretch a single into a double, but with Campana's speed going hard right out of the batter's box, he never hesitated.
Starlin Castro with a 3-hit game yesterday. Campana takes off for third. He is out. Well, you see Campana at second. The Cubs had almost a 40% chance of scoring. Now that goes down to 6.8%.
Yeah, not a good jump that time by Tony. We talk about all the time, if you're going to steal third, you either have to have a monster lead off of second base or have a walking lead. Tony got caught leaning back towards second base there. His walking lead had pretty much been halted, and he tried to go from a dead start, and A.J. Ellis put the throw right on the bag.
Well, A.J. Ellis getting Campana, who was thrown out yesterday, or rather on a Friday by Ellis as well.
Yeah, even with good speed, you still have to have a good jump at second base. That's a very short throw for the catcher. Ellis has shown a strong throwing arm in this series. Taking that walking lead, you really have to be out onto your front foot with your weight leaning toward third base rather than back toward second.
Castro wet. Orang with his first strikeout. The Cubs done in the first. 0-0.
In the final round,
the audience choice ingredient,
Bud Light.
And here we go.
Looks like Chef Dubois is emulsifying the Bud Light into a foam. What's his competitor doing?
He appears to be having a really good time.
A slight reduction for Dubois. And his opponent?
Also improvising nicely. Let's see that again.
Judges.
I like the use of the pressure cooker to tenderize the beef.
But also the use of the cell phone to order the pizza.
It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Sorry, Chef, we're gonna need more ingredient.
I'm going to lunch.
Those days are gone now.
Think about what you are doing.
I'm going with her. I don't want to be chicken. I want to eat it.
Put an end to the working lunch and work on eating lunch. McDonald's all-white meat premium chicken sandwich and the juicy 100% Angus third pounder. It's your lunch. Take it. The simple joy of lunch.
Your car is everything. Your taxi, your moving van, your baby. And for over 30 years, AutoZone has had the parts you can count on to keep it going. But parts are just part of what we do. We're part buddy, part mentor, part of the American way of doing things. So whether you're Mr. DIY or a master mechanic, AutoZone has your back. Parts are just part of what we do.
Get in the zone.
AutoZone.
The Craftsman Days semi-annual event is here. Hurry into Sears this week only for incredible deals on your favorite innovations. Plus, Craftsman Club members get an extra 10% off Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
White Sox, Indians, Monday 1 East, 10 West on WGN America.
0-0 Dodgers and Cubs as we start the second. A 2-hour 41-minute rain delay prior to the first pitch. Only time the Dodgers are in town, so imperative to get this one in today. As the Little Rock, Arkansas native Travis Wood makes his debut in a Cubs uniform. Here's Jerry Hairston Jr. at a big game one. Came up just short of the cycle. 3 for 4 with a homer and a triple. But then yesterday didn't hit anything out of the infield, went 0 for 4. Ooh, off Wood. I think it glanced off his glove, and that'll be an infield hit. A good job by Wood just to block that, and I think Jerry Hairston just blew out a hammy.
And Wood appeared just to get his glove up in time to unfortunately deflect that ball away from the Cubs defenders. You could see Darwin Barney was shaded up the middle of the field. It's probably a routine play for Darwin if Travis Wood lets it go through, but instincts tell you to try to catch that ball. And we'll get a look at Hairston as he comes out of that batter's box. It looked like it was actually when he started to slow down, he realized that ball had ricocheted away from the mound and into the open ground on the right side of the infield. And when he started to break it down is when he grabbed at the hamstring.
So he's out, and Adam Kennedy will run for Hairston. And again, they're already short Matt Kemp, who may or may not be able to give them an at bat. Not trying to make light of the injury. You don't want to see guys get hurt, but I guess it does even it up a little bit. The Cubs are shorthanded today on their bench as well. So runner at first, nobody out, and James Loney with a big swing just cued it off the end of the bat foul. Mentioned that Wrigley Field debut for Travis Wood, his major league debut, 7 innings plus 2 hits. He gave up 2 runs, both of which scored after he was taken out of the game. And then 2 starts later at Philadelphia. This is his 3rd major league start. He took a perfect game into the bottom of the 9th in a scoreless tie, gave up a leadoff double to break up the perfect game and the no-no, got out of the inning, sent it to extras. The Phillies would win it 1-0 in 11. The problem for Travis Wood that night was Roy Halladay was pitching for the Phillies.
Bad draw.
9 innings, 1 hit, no runs, and you don't get a win. That's bad luck.
It looks like Travis Wood throwing with a little more velocity than we saw down in Arizona during the Cactus League. Velocity is never going to be his main thing, but it helps to have an extra mile per hour or 2 on that fastball to set up the straight changeup and to make that cutter look a little bigger.
He had a bad spring. There's no way around it. Maybe putting a little too much pressure on himself after being acquired in a trade for a very popular guy in Sean Marshall. As Loney pops into shallow left. Soriano hustling in, and he will make the basket catch, and the throw to first will be late. Nicely done by Soriano. Not only to make the catch, but to avoid a collision with Starlin Castro.
Hey, it's funny, Len, you know as well as I do, we talk to opposing team broadcasters and they ask about our ball club, and one of the things we always point out is Alfonso Soriano's improved defense in left field, and usually they laugh at us. But just another example right there of Alfonso Soriano making a play that he wouldn't even have pursued last year.
He's made all the plays. Now A.J. Ellis, the catcher, to a really good start all around. See those really good offensive numbers. And he's the only guy who's caught Tony Campana stealing. And he's done it twice. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Adam Kennedy has yet to attempt a stolen base this year, but over the course of his career, 75% success rate. He picks his spots well. Hey, Cub fans, if you want to manage a game along with Dale Swaim, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to collect all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, place sets, hot tubs, and more.
3-1. The word hot in that promo gets longer and longer every time you read it.
Be a good day for a hot tub. We've talked about installing a hot tub up here in the booth.
Fouled back, 3-2. Tony Gwynn Jr. on deck. Going. Kennedy, another foul. Kennedy goes again, and another foul pop, back out of play. Cubs will welcome in the Braves starting tomorrow night. It'll be a 3-game series. And they're off to a very good start and leading again today 6-2 in Colorado there in the 8th inning. Wood will throw over. Kennedy had about a half-step lead that time.
And it's one of those situations as a base runner, you're not really trying to steal the bag. You're in motion to just try to stay out of a potential double play. You should never get picked off on a 3-2 pitch.
And ball 4. That's a pretty safe count to run, and Ellis has an excellent eye at the plate. Pretty good chance he wasn't going to go out of the strike zone. And now Tony Gwynn. He's just hitting 2 for 14 against lefties this year, over 300 versus righties. Off of third, and it'll be out of play. 1-1. Chris Capuano with a big 2-run double early on yesterday against Chris Bolstad. This is kind of day though with Aaron Harang. You got to do everything you can to not let the guys in front of him beat you. He has long been one of the weakest hitting pitchers in baseball. Career .091 average. I mean, Aaron Harang, 11 years in the big leagues. His career high 149. 2-1. Now he's a pitcher, so we compare him to other pitchers, but I'm just looking at the numbers.
What's his BABIP though? You know, maybe he's just hit into a lot of tough luck for a lot of years.
He hasn't hit much. Strikes out about once every 2 at bats.
You know what? His managers don't seem to care because he can eat up a bunch of innings out there on the mound. At times can be dominating on the mound. And give up his share of hits every time he goes out there, but usually finds a way to keep his team in the game.
Well, he's laid down 45 sack bunts in his career, so as long as he does that, the rest doesn't really matter in terms of his offense. Full count, 3-2. Update the percentage chance the Dodgers would score with a couple of men on and 1 out, right in the middle there, about 40%. Don't want to load him up though. You see it goes up to 65% with 1 out. Runners not going, and a pop-up, and this one will also make the seats.
We're told that Aaron Harang's batting average on balls in play stands at .297 for his career.
Okay.
I bet Aaron Harang doesn't even know that.
I guess that means that his career .091 average is right where he should be.
Yep.
He hasn't been lucky or unlucky. Deep pitch counts for Travis Wood here, facing his 4th hitter in the 2nd inning. And another 3-2 to Gwynn. Ball 4. He's walked 3 now here in the first 2 innings. And they're loaded. It is the pitcher Harang. Only gave you his career landscape offensively.
Well, but we've said it a million times up here in the booth. Anybody with a piece of wood in their hands is dangerous, especially with the bases loaded. So it would behoove Travis Wood to make some of his best pitches right now, even though this guy is one of the worst hitters in the game.
He does have 1 career home run.
All right.
4, 6, jump toss. Oh, he couldn't handle it. And the Dodgers get a run as Kennedy's in. Well, Tony Gwynn really supplied that run, didn't he?
Yes, he did, breaking up the double play. Yeah, this is one of those ones. Starlin Castro could jump over Gwynn, come back down to the ground, and still would have had enough time to throw out Aaron Harang at first base. Classic example of just trying to do a little bit too much. The ball was briefly in Brian LaHare's glove, but popped out just enough to allow Harang to reach.
And that's why this spot, you know, teams tend to score more often than not. You had a pitcher at the plate and they still got it done. So it's 1-0 Dodgers, 1st and 3rd, and D. Gordon takes a strike. So Harang gets an RBI. That looked to be tailor-made off the bat. Ground ball to Barney. He's going to get Harang and not the faster Gordon at first. They get 1. It's 1-0 Dodgers in the 2nd.
High five, America, because we're giving you great comedy 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
5 days a week.
Why, that deserves
the highest of 5s.
So when you think America, think 5.
Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's great comedy.
Give me what? 5.
5 days a week.
Freeze frame high five.
All week long, right here on WGN America.
Not leave a brother hanging. Woo!
The fastest selling cane on national television is the cane that stands alone. The Hurricane.
I love it. When I go shopping, I can let it balance while I get stuff off the shelf.
It gives me more stability.
A lot of people stop and ask, oh my gosh, where do you get a cane like that?
Hurry! For a limited time, get the standalone package at a historic price. Just go to www.thehurricane.com and enter the promo code to unlock our best value.
Overstock.com has gifts every mom will love. You'll find huge savings on the best brand names at a fraction of the retail cost. Show mom she's special with the perfect gift at the perfect price. Plus, shipping on your entire order is always $2.95 or less. Make mom's life easier and save 20% on select Dyson technology right now at Overstock.com.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. Powered versus the dreaded dance circle.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Cubs, Braves, Tuesday, 8 East on WGN America.
We want to let our AT&T U-verse viewers in Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or high definition channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that'll show you all our different live camera angles here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T U-verse channel 780 or HD channel 1780. Aaron Harang,
offensive star of the ball game so far.
Yep.
Jeez.
RBI fielder's choice. And he has a 1-0 lead. He'll face LaHare, Soriano, and Mather. here in the Cubs' second. Well, LaHair snapped his 10-game hitting streak yesterday, but did continue his on-base streak. He's been on in 23 consecutive games. Off to a great start. Kennedy, who scored that run after pinch running for the injured Jerry Hairston, is still in at third.
I'll tell you, Brian LaHair has been a shining light in this Cubs batting order with his ability to take pitches, work deep counts. Had some very, very quick 1-2-3 innings when Brian LaHair is not involved, but it seems like every inning he is involved, he forces that opposing pitcher to really work hard to either retire him or ultimately get a base hit against the pitcher, occasionally taking the base on balls.
I think it really feeds itself both ways, Bob. If you're struggling, teams are going to be more aggressive in going after you. And when you're going well and you already have a good eye at the plate like LaHair does, teams nibble even more, which means he'll take more walks.
Baseball season is in full swing, and so is the WGN Radio Cubs Corner, sponsored by Wintrust Community Banks. The next Cubs Corner is this Tuesday at Wildfire in downtown Chicago. Join a couple of Cubs newcomers, David DeJesus and Ian Stewart, for a live WGN radio broadcast and enjoy a great three-course lunch, all for just $55. Tickets are available by calling Wildfire at 312.
Get the rest of that number here as Ethier makes a catch.
Wildfire at 312-787-9000, or as always, you can visit Cubs.com.
So Soriano on one pitch flies out to right, and it'll bring up Joe Mather, who's playing third for Ian Stewart. If you missed our leadoff man, where were you? Number one, but number two, Dale Swain, when asked, well, what do you do when everybody's sick? Said, yeah, you know, you find out a guy is under the weather, you try to get him away from the team. You quarantine him, so to speak, send him home to get some rest. In the case of Jeff Baker, Bob, he actually spent some time yesterday in the hospital before resting at home last night. But I guess Scott Main was the first guy to kind of come down with it, and it's too difficult to snuff it out. Mather taps one. Harang will pick it up and throw him out. You know, I just saw it, I don't know where, about passing germs along. They say that shaking hands, that is a great way to pass along some sort of virus. So you think about guys, what they do, they high five constantly.
Start banging elbows instead. And we were talking about it before the ball game, Len. This is one of those situations for a manager. You know, and people close to the ball club know, that you're very short-handed, but you don't want to let the opposing team know how short-handed you are, so you can, you know, possibly at least force Don Mattingly to think a little more before he makes moves over there on the Dodgers side of the field. If you know the opposing manager is limited to a backup catcher and maybe a backup outfielder, it could change some of the moves you make during the course of a ball game.
Then again, we don't know the availability of Matt Kemp. We just know he was scratched from the original lineup. We know Jerry Hairston is no longer available. He already left due to an injury. So you may not see a ton of double switches and pinch hitters in this game. Darwin Barney lines out. Just a little lead by Loney to snag it. 1-0 Dodgers after 2.
Who wants donuts?
I will kill you!
30 Rock. Tonight at 7 East, 4 West on WGN America.
21st Century here with 2 identical, stolen cars. Luckily, the 2 cars that used to be here were both covered against theft. One through these guys, the other through 21st Century. So both cars can be replaced. But drivers who switch from Allstate to 21st save $577 a year. Call 888-422-1074 or visit 21st.com. 21st Century Insurance.
Dig it, 21st.
This is me. Yep, born cool. This is my new Civic, and I love it. This is where I work. These are my tickets to the show of the decade. These are my friends. And this, I couldn't live without this. Oh, this is the girl I went out with last night. Hey.
Hey.
You gonna make it tonight? This is going to be awesome.
The all-new Civic EXL, the most technologically advanced Civic ever. Only from Honda.
Everywhere, everybody needs a neighbor. Showing up when times get hard. There's some things we may never change, but hunger's something we can turn around. Here's hope.
More than 1 in 5 kids in America don't know where their next meal is coming from, but there is hope. Look for the red pushpin on specially marked packages from ConAgra Foods and enter the code online. 1 code equals 1 meal. It's that easy to help us make sure child hunger ends here.
The 2012 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN TV is brought to you by Bud Light. It's a sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Travis Wood trying to settle in. He has walked 3 Dodgers through 2 innings. And trails 1-0. And he'll face Mark Ellis, Andre Ethier, and Juan Rivera. Speaking of Ellis, want to send out big 50th birthday wishes to Ron Ellis from Shepherd, Michigan, making the trip here to Wrigley Field today. There's a strike on Mark Ellis. I don't think there's any relation. Missed the outside corner.
Well, not taking anything away from Juan Rivera or Tony Gwynn Jr., who was inserted into the lineup as Kemp was scratched. But what a different looking lineup for the Dodgers without big Matt Kemp sitting in that 3-hole.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, he has been a one-man wrecking crew this year. Andre Ethier misses him too. Because every time he comes to the plate, Matt Kemp's on base somewhere.
Ethier leads the majors in RBIs, 28. Won't give away her age, Bob, but I want to wish my sister Amy a very special birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Amy.
I would say it's her 30th, but it's not quite accurate.
Close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
After 21, I don't think you should count him anymore anyway.
I agree. I'm with you on that. Jim Tianis, one of our fine camera guys, knows what to do to it. Give it to a kid.
That's right.
Floated out into left center. Good at bat for Mark Ellis. And you see that a lot. A guy keeps fighting off 2-strike pitches and just waits for that one mistake. I don't even know if it was a mistake. He didn't hit it that hard, but ends up with a leadoff single.
I don't know if there's any way to quantify this, Len, but I've always felt that the more pitches you see in an at-bat, your chances of getting a base hit go up, even though you have 2 strikes. You see everything that pitcher has to offer. You see his release point and his arm angle. You see the spin on the baseball, and it just seems like the more pitches you see in an at-bat, the better chances of ultimately hitting the ball hard and getting a base hit.
Blocked by Castillo on a curveball to Ethier. And on the hands of Ethier, and he fights it off foul.
I think part of that is probably the kind of hitter you are too. Mark Ellis, one of those guys that shortens up a little bit with 2 strikes, thus a .275 batting average with 2 strikes. Other guys, you know, your middle of the lineup boppers might not shorten up quite so much with 2 strikes. They're still trying to hit the ball a long way and maybe a little more susceptible, but Mark Ellis, a real good 2-strike hitter.
And he takes off on the 1-1, and Castillo had to reach across his body on that pitch. Ellis ended up picking a really good pitch to run on.
It looked like Castillo was going to try to fire from his knees because Ellis had a huge jump over there at first base, and in the exchange between the glove and the bare hand, it just popped away from Wellington Castillo. And Ellis in safely at second base with a steal.
Second steal of the series for Mark Ellis. Speaking of Castillo, saw him working with the Cubs catching coach Mike Borzello, who was throwing him pitches from about 40 to 45 feet away on flat ground in left field, and Wellington had a really tiny mitt. This was before he warmed up with Travis Wood.
Yeah, very undersized catcher's mitt, and also Mike Borzello was throwing at different angles, moving to his right and to his left. Just kind of reinforcing some of the things they worked on going all the way back to spring training about receiving pitches and framing pitches and having soft hands. And when you use that little tiny catcher's mitt that they were using for that particular drill, you have to have soft hands. Otherwise, the ball will pop right out. Not to mention the fact that when you put on your normal game glove, it feels like a bushel basket.
Called strike 3. Before that strikeout, with Ellis stealing second, you see the Dodgers' chances of scoring went from 40 to 60%. But now they go down to 38.9 if you move it that box just to the right with 1 out. As we dance around that matrix. It's risk management. It was what it is.
Basically, yeah.
You know, and that's why a lot of talk about stolen bases, and you mentioned a percentage earlier of Adam Kennedy, about 75% in his career. That's good. I don't think it's really how many bases you steal as a team, but it's rather what the percentage is. That's why the Phillies always do a good job. They lead the majors every year in stolen base percentage. That makes it a good play. They're at 80 to 85% every year.
I think when we were just in Philadelphia on that last trip, they had 3 or 4 regulars in the lineup that had yet to have a caught stealing. Now maybe they were only 4 or 5 stolen bases, but they had not been caught stealing.
And in Tony Campana's defense, when he was thrown out at third base, he's only been caught just a small handful of times in his big league career. He's been very, very good in terms of the stolen base percentage. It had been a fairly risk-free play for Tony. He was now 31 out of 35 in his career. That's deep to left. Juan Rivera gone. First row of the bleachers. A 2-run homer. Got into a hitter's count. And he picks up his 2nd homer of the year. Career homer 125 for the veteran.
Those big, strong guys, Len, you can fool them a little bit. Travis Wood throws a changeup at 80, but Juan Rivera is able to extend his swing, buggy whip that ball back to left field, and just does tuck it into the bleachers in left field for a 2-run bomb.
Now, the Cubs had been very good keeping the ball in the ballpark. They had allowed a major league low 5 home runs going back to April 19th. But Rivera gets Wood here, and it's 3-0. We welcome back those viewers watching on WGN locally. We had a weather update. Juan Rivera just hit a 2-run homer off Travis Wood, who's going to retire Adam Kennedy 1-3. As we near 5 o'clock here locally, dinner time.
Yeah, Birds pretty much had a free run of the field most of the afternoon as the rain was falling and the tarp was on the field here at Wrigley.
Give us a couple hours here, will you? Big swing by Loney. Just got a piece of it. 1-1. In case you missed it, here's Juan Rivera's home run against Travis Wood.
Good hitters count, even though he was fooled a little bit on the pitch. As I mentioned, big, strong guys, when you allow them to extend their arms like that, they can hit the ball a long way.
Because of our late start after a long rain delay, a lot of games around the big leagues have already gone final. R.A. Dickey had a shutout into the 9th inning as the Mets beat Arizona today 3-1. He improves to 4-1 on the year. Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF. Cincinnati shut out the Pirates 5-0. Matt Latos over Charlie Morton. Drew Stubbs and Todd Frazier homered for the Reds. Pirates had just 3 hits off 4 Reds pitchers. Cardinals won today 8-1 in Houston, snapping a 3-game skid and ending the Astros 5-game winning streak. Adam Wainwright got his 2nd win, supported by an Alan Craig and 2 Tyler Green home runs. Inside 3-2. Castro backpedaling. Campana is there, but it'll be Starlin to make the catch. And the inning is over. Juan Rivera with a 2-run blast, and it's 3-0 LA.
There are two truths when it comes to baseball and car insurance. Just think 15. In baseball, it takes 15 outs to get to the middle of the third inning. And in car insurance, you could save 15% or more by switching to Geico. All summer long, whether it's baseball on WGN America or car insurance from Geico. The number 15 is all you need to know.
On my journey across America, I found new ways to tell people about saving money. This is Bobby. Say hello, Bobby. Hello, Bobby. Do you know you could save hundreds on car insurance over the phone, online, or at your local Geico office? Tell us, Bobby, what would you do with all those savings?
Hire a bit of ventriloquist. Your lips are moving.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Your cheating heart will make you weak.
Pepsi Max? Really? Bet you're wondering how they got all that Pepsi taste into a 0-calorie cola. Yeah. You have one Pepsi Max for life!
I'm back, and you're my first guest.
That's rich.
You're gonna be famous, kid.
In the neighborhood.
There's a hardware store with a familiar face.
Like this. Like this. Like this.
We're all different, but we're all the same.
Because we're all experts. So next time
you have a question, ask us. Your local
True Value Hardwareians.
for all the right tools, products, and local advice.
True Value. Start right. Start here.
We've stocked our shelves for spring, so stop in for everything you need to keep your lawn and garden looking great.
White Sox, Indians, Monday 1 East, 10 West on WGN America.
Welcome back. Gary Sinise, who was going to conduct the 7th inning stretch today, but because of the rain, has some travel coming up. Gary, we have to sing it now. So,
oh, no, sorry.
The fans are going to be really disappointed, but we appreciate you stopping by before heading off, and always good to see you here at Wrigley Field.
I love coming. Glad to be back.
Up near our booth in town, you had a show with the Lieutenant Dan Band on Friday night. We're at Joe's on Ween. I heard it was a great night.
Great show. We raised some money for the United States Veterans Arts Program. We had a show last night at Steppenwolf, and we're going to be back to Rock for the Troops, a big concert that we do in Wheaton July 21st. rockinforthetroops.org. You can get tickets, and it's a big show to support the troops out there.
Oh, that's great. Well, we always enjoy having you here at Wrigley Field, and we've talked to you in LA at Dodger Stadium as well, and I know you're a big baseball fan, and we're lucky to get this one in today after a long delay as Deke Gordon just gets Wellington Castillo as Loney able to dig it out at first base. So the other question is, CSI, is it coming back?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think we have our season finale next Friday night, and then we'll probably find out the following Tuesday or Wednesday whether we're coming back or not.
You've been doing it now how many years?
8 seasons.
8 seasons. That's a wonderful run.
This is the end of our 8th season next Friday night, so we're hoping a lot of people tune in, and then we'll find out the following week.
Travis Wood with a fair ball past Kennedy and into the left field corner. Well, the Cubs pitcher trying to get his team back into the game. He's batting 1,000 this year.
They had a couple of hits, including a homer down in AAA Iowa earlier this season. Travis Wood knows his way around the batter's box. Picks on a high fastball, puts it right down that third baseline for a 1-out double. He's a real good athlete, Len. I think, you know, if Travis Wood does stick around this season, he'd be a guy that Dale Swain might think about using as a pinch runner or a pinch hitter if he gets jammed up late in the ball game.
Now here's David DeJesus. Curveball misses way high. Last time I think we talked, Gary, we mentioned the World War II in HD that you narrated from a few years ago. Just an amazing miniseries. Have you done any more voiceovers for any military docs lately? You have such a great voice. I hear that voice, man. It's a very comfortable listen.
We had there was something on the military channel recently called Missions That Changed the War. Great series about aviation and different aviation missions that changed that affected the war, and that was a great series. And recently they replayed something called When We Left Earth. It's the history of NASA. It's really a terrific program. So I've had a chance to do some wonderful things.
Well, you're a natural.
Thank you.
3-0 on De Jesus. Cubs trail early here, 3-0. 2-run homer by Rivera in the second. And there's ball 4, so the tying run will come to the plate. And we want to mention the foundation again. And we certainly encourage people to go there. SiniseFoundation.org. Gary, tell us just how you got into these great causes for the wonderful people of the military.
Oh, I have military in my family, and you know, on my wife's side of the family, I have Vietnam veterans, and I think I was motivated by a lot by what happened to our Vietnam veterans when they came home from war, and they were treated very badly, and we just want to make sure that never happens again. So I'm very busy and active. My foundation is supporting a lot of programs for wounded warriors and Gold Star families. If you go to GarySiniseFoundation.org, you can learn a bit more about what we're doing. One of the programs we got going right now is building specially designed homes for very severely wounded warriors. It's a great program.
Foul tip, strike 2 on Campana.
I think awareness is a big part when you're trying to solve any problems in this world, and by you lending your name, it got other people involved as well. The awareness improved, and you know, certainly we owe a great debt of gratitude to all the men and women who have served our country so bravely over the years, and you're to be commended as well, Gary.
Well, thank you very much. I've met extraordinary people in the military, and you know so many wonderful veterans who have served our country, and I always live at our foundation. We live by that quote by Calvin Coolidge: "The nation which forgets its defenders will itself be forgotten." And we just can't forget those who serve and defend our country. So we go out there and do what we can.
Campana down 0-2. And the curveball just missed that outside corner. 1-2 with Castro on deck. I have an idea. Why don't you want to just record the 7th inning stretch? We'll get Gary Pressey involved, and then we'll replay it. We'll have a hologram of you here in the booth. Not that we don't like singing the stretch, but it's a little terrifying, as you know. You're such a natural.
You do the 4th inning stretch.
There you go. Yeah.
Just make it a little early.
We've been here for 3.5 hours.
No, I'll come back this summer and we'll do it again.
Absolutely.
That's a deal. Always welcome.
Just missed.
I think last year when I was here and I did it, I had a group of wounded warriors with me over in one of these boxes over there, and it was a nice military appreciation sort of event that I got to participate in.
And a ground ball to the right side. Ellis will take the short toss, and just got Campana. That's how fast Tony Campana is. He almost beat it out.
He is fast.
So 2 down, and second and third, and it's Starlin Castro. Base open, but I think Aaron Harang wants to face Brian LaHare with the bases loaded.
Brian LaHare got a real good look at Aaron Harang the first go-round before drawing that base on ball. So I got to believe he's going to pitch carefully, but he's going to go right after Castro.
Now, one of the great moments here at Wrigley Field the last few years, Gary, the living Medal of Honor winners. I want to say, like, of the 100, there were about 85 to 90 of them here at Wrigley Field. It was a very touching day at the ballpark as they all gathered in Chicago.
There were probably about 50 there. That was a convention, the national convention for Medal of Honor recipients. I was the MC of the Saturday night event that year. And that was one of the biggest assemblies of the living Medal of Honor recipients that we've had. I'm on the Medal of Honor Foundation board. And I got to tell you, the stories and the bravery and the courage and the sacrifice and just the exceptional character of these individuals is really something to be around. And I'm privileged. We co-host a Medal of Honor event out at the Reagan Library in Simi Valley, California every year. We've done it 5 years in a row, and each year we have probably 40 recipients there. And at the national convention that year when they were here, it was probably about 55 that year. That's a lot to attend one event.
And a base hit.
There we go.
Into center, and the Cubs are going to get two. Starlin Castro on his way to second. And he's out there, but the runs will count. So the Cubs back to within a run. And again, go to the GarySiniseFoundation.org to find out more about what we've been talking about today. Gary, safe travels. We'll see you later this summer.
Thanks so much, guys.
21st Century here with two identical, stolen cars. Luckily, the two cars that used to be here were both covered against theft. One through these guys, the other through 21st Century. So both cars can be replaced. But drivers who switch from Allstate to 21st save $577 a year. Call 888-422-1074 or visit 21st.com. 21st Century Insurance.
Dig it, 21st.
Welcome to Longhorn Steakhouse. Come in now for new steak and seafood combinations. Try our lobster baked potato and sirloin for just $16.99, or our crab stuffed mushrooms and sirloin for $14.99. Steak and seafood tonight at Longhorn Steakhouse.
The fastest selling cane on national television is the cane that stands alone. The Hurricane.
I love it. When I go shopping, I can let it balance while I get stuff off the shelf. When I reach down, my cane is right there where I left it.
The Hurricane is the all-terrain cane. Sand, gravel, snow. The Hurricane keeps you on the go.
It gives me more stability.
The Hurricane goes everywhere you go. And when you need it, it's out in seconds. And the proprietary pivot head gives you more stability at any angle.
A lot of people stop and ask, oh my gosh, where do you get a cane like that?
Right now on national TV, we're offering our best deal ever. Get the full Hurricane standalone package for a historic price. Just go to www.thehurricane.com and enter the promo code to unlock our best value. www.thehurricane.com.
Okay, who gets occasional constipation, diarrhea, gas, or bloating? Get ahead of it. One Phillips Colon Health probiotic cap a day helps defend against digestive issues with 3 strains of good bacteria.
Hit me!
Live the regular life. Phillips.
And thanks so much to Gary Sinise for stopping by. And the Cubs scored twice while we were chatting with him on a Starlin Castro 2-run single. He was thrown out 2-4 to end that inning. The Cubs back within 1.
Right, that was a haircut single that time too, right back through the box, right back where it came from. Fortunately, Aaron Harang wasn't in front of that one. Woo! Ball was smoked back up the middle of the field, hit so hard I didn't know if David DeJesus would have a chance to score, but the throw was far enough up the first base side that DeJesus scores easily, and the Dodgers do retire Castro, trying to get himself into scoring position with 2 outs.
Bottom 3 now for the Dodgers, starting with A.J. Ellis, and he takes ball 1. Hard hit ground ball. Cleanly fielded by Joe Mather, and he gets the out. Time now to take a look at our AT&T Uverse replay. Magic Johnson and the new owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers on Wednesday being introduced. See what's possible with AT&T Uverse high-speed internet. AT&T rethink possible. Tommy Lasorda been with the Dodgers now, I think, 63 years. And again, they'll have their first home game since they bought the club from Frank McCourt tomorrow night. As the Giants come in. One to Tony Gwynn. Bouncer to Darwin Barney.
Hey, you mentioned Tommy Lasorda. We saw his picture there with the new ownership group of the Dodgers, and yesterday was a This Day in Baseball History featuring Tommy Lasorda. Back in 1955, he was a rookie, a left-handed pitcher, made his first major league appearance and tied a record by throwing 3 wild pitches in the first inning.
Campana makes the catch. He took a little extra pride in that story, didn't he?
Former Giant, you know me.
Hey, could you hold that, please? All right. Here we go. Keep the change. Just over 9 minutes to go. Hello, elevator.
Me too. It's the sure sign of a good time. Just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Apparently I didn't get the Thong Thursday memo.
Ever wonder who's searching for you? Go to mylife.com, the internet's leading social site. Just type in your name and see if someone is searching for you for free. Who's searching for you? Go to mylife.com and find out if someone is searching for you right now for free.
We're testing new Degree, the only antiperspirant activated directly by movement. Activating protection, Bear! The more you move, the more it works. New long-lasting Degree with motion sense. Not me! Keep running.
I have the right to a guarantee that my rate is the lowest on the web. Do I ask for too much?
Kinda. Sometimes.
It's your voice, it's yourchoicehotels.com, where you'll always get the best internet rate guaranteed or your first night's free. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
The Craftsman Days semi-annual event is here. Hurry into Sears this week only for incredible deals on your favorite innovations. Plus, Craftsman Club members get an extra 10% off Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Travis Wood trailing 3-2, but he doubled and scored in the 3rd inning as he makes his Cubs debut. Brian LaHare will lead off for the 2nd time. He walked in the 2nd. Not a bad leadoff option in terms of his on-base percentage.
Also not a bad option to take a pitcher deep who is prone to giving up the long ball. Aaron Harang had to be ecstatic to get out of Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati and go down to Petco Park in San Diego.
They had a really good year last year. led the Padres with 14 wins and had the best ERA of his career at 3.64. Well, he had an interesting stretch, didn't he? About 6 years ago, starting in 2006, he went 16-11 with the Reds, 16-6, and then followed that up by going 6-17 and 6-14. Two, the count on the Cubs leadoff man this inning, Brian LaHare, 3-2 Dodgers. And that one lined foul out of play. And deep to left, and it will drop just fair. And LaHare has a leadoff double.
Probably actually went out of the strike zone that time, but able to tomahawk that high fastball down into the left field corner. That's one of the most impressive things, other than his patience and his eye at the plate. Brian LaHare doesn't care where he hits the ball. Foul line to foul line with authority. That one just inside the stripe down in that left field corner.
Now here's Soriano. Harang steps off. Aaron Harang in his second start this season, and it was against the Padres. Did something no Dodger pitcher had ever done previously. Struck out 9 consecutive guys. Johnny Padres had the franchise record 8 in a row back in 1962. So you could say he broke Padres record against the Padres.
How about that?
Yeah, that's not bad. 13 Ks that night.
Yeah, obviously right on top of his game, hitting his spots extremely well, because I mentioned at the top of the show, and if you look at his career numbers, Aaron Harang has always been a guy that gives up around a hit an inning, sometimes a little more than a hit an inning. Doesn't really attempt to miss a lot of bats. He'd like to see some early contact and get some quick outs. He hasn't done much of that this year, though, averaging over 18 pitches per inning. And on those given nights when a pitcher's feeling it, and we've seen Matt Garza do it in his time here with the Cubs. We've seen Ryan Dempster do it on occasion with the Cubs. And when you're feeling it, you're throwing that ball wherever you want, whenever you want. You can rack up some big strikeouts.
Ethier comes in. LaHare cannot advance.
Favorite time of the day, Len. Time for our Xfinity catcher profile. And we're going to profile Sandy Martinez today, not for protecting home because nobody got close to it, but for catching Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game on this day back in 1998. Had a really nice career, played with a bunch of different ball clubs, threw out 33% of runners attempting to steal in his career, but will be known forever as the guy who was behind the dish for Kerry Wood. Xfinity Home. Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family anytime, anywhere.
Low on Joe Mather. And I think every kid gets a ball from a WGN cameraman, Bob Albrecht, saying, I want that young guy to have it. Mather pops it up on the infield. Left side, D. Gordon. 2 away.
Cubs looking for one of those 2-out base hits we were talking about earlier in the game. Not easy to come by, but time for one right now from Darwin Barney.
He has been struggling, but he did hit the ball hard his first time up, lining out to Loney. 1 strike. Bounce to third. Kennedy will get him. Cubs waste a leadoff double, still trail by a run.
Your car is everything. Your taxi, your moving van, your baby. And for over 30 years, AutoZone has had the parts you can count on to keep it going. But parts are just part of what we do. We're part buddy, part mentor, part of the American way of doing things. So whether you're Mr. DIY or a master mechanic, AutoZone has your back. Parts are just part of what we do.
Get in the zone.
AutoZone.
Lately, we've been ordering a lot of cheesy bread from other places.
And what we found? Under-cheesing is rampant. You look at this.
A little bit of cheese with a whole lot of bread.
And we were one of the worst offenders. You know, what we said is, how do we make cheesy bread better? How do we make it special? Stuff it with cheese. It's got as much cheese as our medium pizza.
I wanted people to jump rope with their cheese.
Or you could eat it, which I would recommend.
Order any of our new stuffed cheesy breads or medium 2-topping pizzas. Choose any 2 for just $5.99 each.
Wow, this is new. Yep, I'm sending the dancing chicken to every store in the franchise to get the word out.
That could work, or you could use every door direct mail from the Postal Service. It'll help you and all your franchisees find the customers that matter most, the ones in the neighborhood. You print it or find a local partner.
Great. Keep it moving, honey.
Honey?
That's my wife.
Wow.
There you go. There you go.
Go online to reach every home, every address, every time with Every Door Direct Mail.
So you two are gonna love this place. You know, for $20, you can each choose an entree from an incredibly limited menu and share an appetizer. It's like one bite and it's gone, right? We love it.
I am not sharing an appetizer.
2 for $20 at Golden Corral is back. It's nonstop appetizers, salads, all-you-can-eat entrees, desserts, including the amazing chocolate Wonderfall. It's unlimited deliciousness. It's the ultimate 2 for $20 dinner buffet, Monday through Thursday. Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness.
The 5th inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank. Member FDIC. Well, the lights have been on all day. Well, around 12:20. If you just drop somebody into this ballpark and didn't give them a watch or a clock to look at, you'd say, oh, it's about 7:30 p.m. Skies darkened and it rained for quite some time. We had a 2-hour, 41-minute rain delay, but we've been dry since. Cool and breezy. As Gordon bunts foul, 0-2. Indians beat Yu Darvish today. He suffers his first big league loss. 4-2 Cleveland, the final. And he dropped to 4-1 with the loss. Ubaldo Jimenez got the win. 7 shutout innings. The first place Cleveland Indians.
Rolls right off your tongue, doesn't it?
Well, remember, they got off to such a great start last year before fading. On the ground toward right, it's cut off by Barney, and he'll get Gordon. Tigers beat the White Sox 3-1. Rick Porcello over Dylan Axelrod in that one. Adam Dunn did homer for the White Sox, his 9th. Hit the game winner yesterday. Austin Jackson, Andy Dirks, and Prince Fielder went deep for Detroit. If you do the math, they were all solo home runs. 3-1 the final. All the runs on homers. By the way, Jerry Hairston Jr., who had to leave the game in the second inning, it was due to a strained left hamstring, replaced by Adam Kennedy.
Well, we talked about Jerry Hairston and his versatility. A nice guy to have on a team. Can play outfield, can play anywhere on the infield. He continues to run well. A good year swinging the bat this season. He's a very valuable guy for Don Mattingly. Donnie baseball. Wicked he hit. Man.
Won the batting title in the American League in 1984. Was the MVP the next year. Hit .307 in his career. All of the Yankees, 14 seasons. 9 Gold Gloves. From Evansville, Indiana, Don Mattingly. Ellis pops down the left field line. Castro just can't get it as he had to scale over the bullpen mound.
That might be the toughest single play in Wrigley Field for a shortstop on the third base side and for a second baseman on the first base side. Getting over near that mound, you don't want to take your eye off the ball as you approach that area, but you know that mound is sneaking up on you. Starlin got one last peek, and you may have noticed that big long step that he took with his left foot. He knew he was getting close to the mound. He wanted to make sure he had his feet planted underneath him as he got to that area.
Quite as difficult. Tells Barney, I'm going to take this one. I ran for the last one. I'm taking this one.
Time to take a look at today's Illinois Lottery anything's possible moment. We go back to May 4th, 1960. The Cubs made a trade with WGN. Lou Boudreau, they plucked him right out of the broadcast booth to replace Charlie Grimm as the manager. And Charlie Grimm moved up to the booth to take Lou's chair behind the mic. Cubs won that ball game 5-1 over the Pirates. Dick Ellsworth with his first major league victory.
And with that, Ethier makes a quick out on one pitch in the inning.
Get the party started. Dial it. Pitbull together with Bud Light. Here we go.
The Craftsman Days semi-annual event is here. Hurry into Sears this week only for incredible deals on your favorite innovations. Plus, Craftsman Club members get an extra 10% off Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Okay, who gets occasional constipation, diarrhea, gas, or bloating? Get ahead of it. One Phillips Colon Health Probiotic Cap a day helps defend against digestive issues with 3 strains of good bacteria.
Hit me!
Live the regular life. Phillips.
Have you met the neighbors of late night? Liz Lemon.
I'm your worst nightmare is who I is.
Bender.
Only I didn't have so much crunk in my badunkadunk.
Frank.
Make some cash.
Welcome to the neighborhood. That's what we call a block party. Late nights on WGN America. The verdict is in, America. There's a lot of mother lovers out there.
No.
Yes. You've tweeted.
I like you.
You've posted.
They love me.
And you've watched HIMYM on WGNA.
That's just awesome.
With fans this amazing, we'd just like to say...
Thank you!
Watch How I Met Your Mother and meet at McLaren's to join the legendary conversation.
The 5th inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank, member FDIC. Eight, 9, and 1 for the Cubs. Starting with catcher Wellington Castillo. Got Back-to-back starts when he was brought up from AAA Iowa to replace Steve Clevenger on the active roster, and this is his first start since. That was last weekend when he came up. And he hits a ground ball to Kennedy, who got a nice hop at the end. Call that a candy hop or a Sunday hop?
Sunday hop on a Sunday afternoon.
That's the kind of hop where you sit up here and you go, man, it'd be fun to play third today. And then you get the short hop and you go, I wouldn't want any part of that.
No, you get that one right off the lip of the grass.
And Travis Wood, 2 for 2.
Just got to get some guys on base ahead of Travis Wood, apparently. First at bat, hit a bullet double down into the left field corner. This time just a little soft floater on a pitch that was out of the strike zone away, but shows good plate coverage. Massages it out there into right field for a base hit.
Came in a career 134 batter, but with a home run in each of his first 2 big league seasons. Was a lot better 2 years ago when he hit 189. And he's 2 for 2 to start this season.
Yeah, I'm sure David DeJesus appreciates it. Being a left-handed hitter facing a right-handed pitcher gives him a little bit bigger hole on the right side of the infield to possibly shoot for. You see with Loney holding on Travis Wood over there. Mark Ellis playing at double play depth, a little bit closer to the bag at second. David DeJesus has a lot of real estate on that side of the field. Of course, David is not strictly a pull hitter, but it might change your thinking as you get into that batter's box. Where is the defense weak right now? Well, they're weak on the right side because we have a runner over there. If I get a pitch from the middle of the plate in, I'm going to try to roll over and hit a ground ball to that side.
There's a strike.
And with that in mind, Aaron Harang is going to try to throw something from the middle of the plate away and force David DeJesus to hit it to the left side where he's got 2 defenders covering that ground.
Out into center, and it'll drop down in front of Tony Gwynn. Wood read that nicely and easily gets to second. Back-to-back one-out singles. Cubs trail 3-2 here in the 5th. Here's Campana, corner man in. Shows bunt and looks at a strike. Took that one off the outside edge. Did not show bunt that time. 1-1. And then he pulls it foul behind first base coach Dave McKay.
I'm wondering how many stopwatches over the course of his coaching career Dave McKay has worn out. He times
a long time.
Every delivery to home plate with a runner on base. Dave McKay's got a stopwatch on that opposing pitcher.
Back to Harang. And he's only going to get one. That's Campana. Harang had options there, third, second, or first, and he decided to get Campana at first.
Yeah, it looked like Harang may not have had a good grip on that ball. Not sure what the problem was. The shortstop, D. Gordon, was a little bit slow getting to the bag, but I think he just didn't have a good grip on the baseball. And with Tony Campana's speed, he almost waited too long to get the so-called sure out at first.
And Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, will head out to the mound.
The third annual Wrigley Field Fantasy Camp is back and offers a great Father's Day experience. On June 17th, you and a guest will watch the Cubs take on the Red Sox from a luxury suite. On June 18th, spend the afternoon playing with Cubs legends and celebrities and lead your team to the championship game under the lights. Sign up today at Cubs.com/fantasy camp or call 773-388-8270. Last time Starlin Castro made his way to the plate with runners at second, third, and 2 outs, he lined a single, parted Aaron Harang's hair as that ball whistled by into center field. But Honeycutt just wanted to make sure his right-hander knows exactly what he wants to do this time. Oof.
I think your eyes lit up on that pitch, as did Starlin Castro's. He had a good rip at it, good look at it.
Right across the top of the strike zone, you can see where Ellis was set up. They wanted that pitch low and away. It strayed up and over the heart of the plate. Good rip that time. Fouled it straight back.
Well, Harang getting that out at first and not at another base. Now a single can put him behind in this game with 2 in scoring position. Pitcher strike. Starlin didn't want that one anyway. 1-2.
That's the same pitch as the one before. The number 3 is going to be right on top of the number 2.
Well, I guess if there are 50-50 calls, you get one, you don't get the other, right?
I guess.
And a foul tip, strike 3. So Harang has worked out of a couple of jams the last 2 innings and still leads by a run.
What's up, America? I am Barney from America. America loves it. I see the face of America, and it is divine. America is a melting pot. God bless America.
This is me. Yep, born cool. This is my new Civic, and I love it. This is where I work. These are my tickets to the show of the decade. These are my friends. And this, I couldn't live without this. Oh, this is the girl I went out with last night. Hey.
Hey.
You gonna make it tonight? This is going to be awesome.
The all-new Civic EXL, the most technologically advanced Civic ever. Only from Honda.
When is it okay to lose the cover-up? When you can. Take the Special K Challenge and lose an inch from your waist in 2 weeks. A cover-up free summer begins with Special K. Free personalized plans at specialk.com. What will you gain when you lose?
Lately, we've been ordering a lot of cheesy bread from other places.
And what we found?
Under-cheesing is rampant. You look at this.
A little bit of cheese with a whole lot of bread.
And we were one of the worst offenders. You know, what we said is, how do we make cheesy bread better? How do we make it special? Stuff it with cheese. It's got as much cheese as our medium pizza.
I wanted people to jump rope with their cheese.
Or you could eat it, which I would recommend.
Order any of our new stuffed cheesy breads or medium 2-topping pizzas. Choose any 2 for just $5.99 each.
Time for the Chevy Youth Baseball League of the Game. And today we recognize Bob Jazz Chevrolet for its support of Elburn baseball and softball. Bob Jazz Chevy and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana dealers are supporting over 30,000 young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. These local Chevy dealers provide leagues with equipment kits, instructional clinics, and financial support. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Cubs have had chances, but still trail by a run 3-2 as Travis Wood gets into the 6th. And the guy who homered off him in the 3rd, Juan Rivera, will start it. Back-to-back lefties after Rivera and Kennedy and Loney. A backdoor curveball missed low and outside. Orioles and Red Sox are tied at 6 in the bottom of the 14th at Fenway Park. The Orioles are trying to earn a sweep in that series. On one bounce, Darwin Barney perfectly positioned.
The Cubs are proud to present the first ever social media night at Wrigley Field on Wednesday, May 16th against the Phillies. Your Budweiser bleacher ticket includes a gift bag with a pack of social media baseball cards, often including a player autograph, and a pregame panel featuring Chicago Bears kicker Robbie Gould. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com/special events.
Kennedy takes ball 1. In that game in Boston, Chris Davis, DH for the Orioles, having a really good start. He's still hitting .305. That's the good news for him. The bad news is he's 0 for 6 today with 5 strikeouts and a double play.
Ooh, that's a good team player.
Somebody's got to make the outs.
Got that right. The game would go on forever if somebody wasn't willing to make the outs.
What a trip the Orioles have had. They won 2 of 3 at Yankee Stadium, and they're going to do at least that in Boston, if not sweep that series. They go home, they play Texas, Tampa Bay, and the Yankees. So it's not as if their schedule gets any easier. Be on WCIU tomorrow night. And that man will be on the mound, Jeff Samardzija. He'll face righty Tommy Hanson. The Braves called strike 3. And let's look at our forward upcoming Cubs schedule. On the U tomorrow night at 7, Braves and Cubs. Back here on WGN Tuesday night at 7. And the Cubs wrap up the homestand on Wednesday afternoon. Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Since the Rivera home run, 10 straight Dodgers have been retired by Travis Wood.
Hey, Lennon, a real neat story in that Baltimore-Boston game you're talking about. Rule 5 pick playing for the Orioles from the Cubs, Ryan Flaherty. Got the start in left field today, playing in front of about 30 family members that he left tickets for that ball game. Got his 7th start of the year in left field at Fenway Park, the ballpark he grew up watching when he was a kid.
Yeah, that's great. He's 1 for 5 in that game. Wood with a 1-2-3-6, 3-2 Dodgers. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Overstock.com has gifts every mom will love. You'll find huge savings on the best brand names at a fraction of the retail cost. Show mom she's special with the perfect gift at the perfect price. Plus, shipping on your entire order is always $2.95 or less. Make mom's life easier and save 20% on select Dyson technology right now at Overstock.com.
Your cheating heart will make you weak.
Pepsi Max? Really? Bet you're wondering how they got all that Pepsi taste into a 0-calorie cola.
Yeah. You have one Pepsi Max for life! I'm back, and you're my first guest. That's rich. You're gonna be famous, kid.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. Powered versus the dreaded dance circle.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
The Craftsman Days semi-annual event is here. Hurry into Sears this week only for incredible deals on your favorite innovations. Plus, Craftsman Club members get an extra 10% off Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Who wants donuts?
I will.
30 Rock. Tonight at 7 East, 4 West on WGN America.
Dodgers 3, Cubs 2 as Brian LaHare will play leadoff man again. And this is an interesting conversation, Bob. When you talk about getting that leadoff guy on and whether or not you want to give up an out and get him to second base. You see, expected to score .84 runs. That's going back to 2010 league-wide with a leadoff man on. When that guy gets to second with 1 out, it goes down to 0.662 runs. Now, the chance of scoring a run, 40.2% with a leadoff man on. You see on that right side. If you bunt the guy to second, it actually goes down to 38.9%. So that has to make a manager at least think about is bunting this guy into scoring position. 2 shots at scoring him from second versus 3 shots getting him in from first. Is that something I want to do?
I think that's where a manager's experience and knowing your own roster, knowing your opposing pitcher that particular day.
And the personnel coming up in that inning.
Absolutely.
Sure.
You know, you're probably not going to bunt the guy into scoring position for the number 8 and 9 spot in the lineup, but you know, you've got a guy that's been struggling, hasn't really helped your offense much recently, but he's an adept bunter, and you're pretty sure he can get the bunt down and move that guy to second base for somebody who is swinging the bat well behind him. Well, then, you know, maybe you go against the small percentage gain and go ahead and put down the sac bunt.
And again, it's so minuscule, the difference. But I think it's worth pointing out as LaHare pulled it too much foul. Forgetting the minuscule math, at least acknowledging that statistically it's about a wash.
Yeah.
So the data is what it is. And just bunting a guy to second does not statistically give you a better chance in a vacuum of getting a run. Pretty interesting. 3-2 on the way. Tomahawked into left. And Brian LaHare has been on all 3 times. Now we bring up that question here, but it's really moot, right? Because Alfonso Soriano, who's not a guy you would expect to lay down a bunt, is at the plate.
Yep. Yeah, there's sometimes you don't even have to think about it. Just because of the personnel who are involved, the next guy up is going to swing the bat. That's all there is to it.
Now, we scripted it that way. We told Brian LaHare in the bottom of the 6th we're going to do this comparison, so you need to get on base.
Well, we picked the right guy. Because Brian LaHare has been up to the plate 3 times today. He's been on base all 3 times.
Well, this really fits into a lot of the defensive shifting that has gone on around baseball. In this regard, a lot of times in the past, you just bunt that guy up just because that's what everybody did. And in terms of positioning, most teams played straight up because everybody else did. But you're seeing a lot of teams now overshift because of what the data tells them. Drop by Kennedy, still going to have time to get Soriano at first. It kind of played like a sac bunt as Lajer's at second with 1 out.
Time now to take a look at our BMW in-game box score. A lot of crooked numbers after Brian Lajer's name. Top of that order has been very busy from Soriano down. Not a whole lot until you get to the 9 spot. Travis Wood, the pitcher. For a limited time, get incredible lease deals on the 2011 BMW 3 Series. Visit ChicagolandBMW.com for more information.
So 2 shots at it here. Mather, Barney. And possibly Castillo, we'll see. Ground ball to third. Lajer with a good read there as Kennedy fielded it. Nobody covering the bag, so he kind of ran right in front of him. He's there with 2 outs.
That was pretty good base running by Brian Lajer, a guy that's not normally very adventurous on the bases, but if you know where the defense is positioned, he was able to gain 90 feet, which becomes significant if Aaron Harang would happen to throw a ball in the dirt. Kennedy had to move a couple of steps to his left to make the play and was already playing very deep, so Lajer thought he had a chance to pass by in front and advance on to third base with 2 outs.
And high to Darwin Barney. They've gone to the 15th at Fenway, 6-6. Josh Lindblom is up for the Dodgers. Inside. Oakland beat Tampa Bay 9-5. Tommy Malone over Matt Moore. Brandon Inge, new member of the A's, with a home run today. It was a 3-run homer. Full count, 3-2 with Castillo on deck. Bounced down in front of home plate for ball 4. Yankees clobbered the Royals 10-4 the final. Let's see, A-Rod homered in that game. Number 634 of his career. Out to talk it over with Harang. Sean Camp up in the bullpen. Talked about the short bench, the way Travis Wood is swinging the bat. Even if Castillo walks and Dale Swaim's thinking about taking Wood out of the game, I still think he's going to hit.
Yeah, we saw it happen a lot in the past with Carlos Zambrano. If you've got a pitcher who's swinging the bat well and your bench is a little nicked up, although you see Ian Stewart right there with a helmet and a bat, it's not out of the question to let that pitcher hit for himself and then bring in a reliever.
Missed again, 2-0. There you go. First and third, 2 outs. The biggest drops are between the outs, not the bases. It's when you try to preserve those precious outs as much as you can.
It's been a nice patient at bat for Wellington Castillo, a guy who is normally not the most patient hitter. He likes to swing that bat, especially with runners on base.
Ian Stewart has life. Tell you, I wonder if the 2-hour 41-minute rain delay allowed him to get in uniform, and here he is in the on-deck circle. He was in rough shape earlier today.
Yeah, I saw him in the training room this morning, and he was not looking too good.
3-1 pitch, hard hit ground ball. Gordon boots it, picks it up, and gets it. He recovered in time because Castillo hit it so hard. Still 3-2.